Good morning, my friends. Thank y'all for dropping in again today. Hope everyone's been doing well. Guys, this morning I'm back out here in the garden. We had another rain last night, which it didn't rain but about 3/4 of an inch. But it had some wind in it, so I wanted to see what happened in the garden, checking everything out, and thought I'd bring y'all along. Then after we check a couple things in the garden, I got some stuff I need to harvest. And then I got my chicks I need to weigh. I done been putting them off. Staying so busy, I want to get a weight on them. And then my grow out birds that I'm growing out for meat. Ain't none of them first 5 looking like no keeper bird to me, but I want to get a weight on them. And we're going to be doing that. But as y'all can see, the garden has really came to life, guys. Really came to life. After the rain, we still been getting them. At least the last week we got 2 rains in the week, but it ain't them old hard pounding flooding rains. So everything's really doing better. But we're gonna take a look at a couple of things in the garden here first. The cabbage right here, I think we got a head right there that, tell you what, a couple of days we're gonna be having a crawfish bowl. That cabbage head right there may be going in the crawfish boiling pot. The rest of them, they gonna be a little bit longer. They smaller, but they coming on. Now, I don't know what variety this is. Y'all know I've always planted the Catarina cabbage, but this year, whatever reason, I couldn't get them going in the beds. I picked these right here up from the corner market, so I don't know what variety they are, but they doing good in the in-ground. The criminal summer squash, guys, has really been doing great. I actually got 2 off this plant yesterday morning, and there's that one I left on there. And as y'all can see, we got 7, 8, 10 more coming on. But I got a couple right here that we're still getting a little bit too much rain. So you can see them there 2 right there is right it, and I've been pulling several off like that. But I think this is going to be my go-to squash because I like how it grows straight up and I can control the vine instead of having a vine going all over my garden. It looks like the rattlesnake green beans. They are beautiful and getting loaded down with blooms. So they're going to be doing good this year. Looking at the blooms that's on them already, and they done wrapped over the top and connected with each side and still growing. The hydroponic cucumber, this here's the summer dance if y'all remember. I probably got about 6 off of this plant so far, and look at it steady blooming and steady climbing. It's done made it to the top line, and y'all can see it. I just can't touch that top line, so that's somewhere around a little over 8 foot. Maybe not over 8 foot, but just close to 8 foot. So we got a cucumber. The Vivor hydroponic buckets is doing great, but I'm telling y'all there's going to be an issue with me with these buckets. And the issue is now that everything's growing like it is, I have to top these off every day. If I forget and try to go 2 days, it's going to go down there so low, and then when I top it off, it's going to drown the roots. This is be ideal for somebody that was wanting a patio garden. Have them like an 8 bucket setup of this like I do, and put them some tomato plants, squash, cucumber, whatever they wanted to grow. Y'all see I'm just testing them, trying out the peppers. And right here is the Hycenator bell pepper. That's my first biggest pepper so far. It's got 3 or 4 more coming on and starting to make some little blooms. The eggplant is lagging behind my eggplants that's in the garden. But now the Hycenator tomato and the Celebrity Plus down there on the end, as you can see, it's doing great. That there is starting to turn red, but it's putting on more tomatoes as it goes up. And if y'all remember on one of my latest garden videos, I give them a shot of 10-20-10, I think was the number on that liquid fertilizer. I wanted to start seeing more blooms, and that's what it did. The Celebrity Plus here, I think that is way, I mean, that's a lot of tomatoes on that Celebrity Plus. It's actually the one that's making the most tomatoes, and it's the prettiest tomato plant. This Hycenator plant, for whatever reason, see how the leaves are curled? It's been like that ever since it started, but it's making tomatoes. The rest of the tomatoes are growing. Some does a little better than the others. Some's getting early blight. And that there, the limbs broke off. I tried to tie it back up and save it, but I guess it was broke off too much. So I might as well go on and remove this. Y'all see where I tried to tape it. Tried to save that little limb, but it didn't work. Sometimes once one breaks over, you can stand it back up and tie it and tape it together, and it'll continue to grow. I actually saved a whole tomato plant one year by doing this. And I just used old electrical black tape, but it didn't work this time. That one was broke too much. But you see back here, I'm getting some early blight or some type of blight. I need to get in here and do some bottom limb trimming, trim some of that stuff off. I got a Hycenator right here turning red, so I'm gonna have a good tomato in a few days. And I didn't show these the other day on my video when I was showing my cucumbers, the little short video. Y'all know I'm always grow my summer dance, but this year, why I was ordered the Hycenator bell peppers to try, I also ordered the Hycenator cucumbers. Now, Hycenator cucumbers, for some of you don't know, that comes from Hyce Tools, and they let him name some of the seeds Hycenators, but I don't exactly know the real variety of these, what they are. The Hycenator tomato is a Cicada STM 2255 that you can get anywhere else that sells Cicada seeds. So I don't know who the seed is, company for this Hycenator cucumber, but I thought I'd give it a try. And you can see it's got plenty of blooms coming on. Now, I did plant these cucumbers a good bit later than I did the summer dance, so I could have some later cucumbers. And the rattlesnake green beans on the other side has done come to the top and blooming good. But now all my seeds didn't germinate on that side, so it's only like 4 vines coming up that side. There's the tomatillos. They are loading down with blooms. Some tomatillos down there at the bottom. But if all them blooms turn to tomatillos, that's going to be one loaded little plant, ain't it? Now this right here, guys, is what I knew was going to happen, but I done it anyway. When I planted corn in these beds to use up some of this nutrition that I done overpowered my beds with, I knew as soon as it got up about that tall, we was going to get one of these storms with some wind, and you see what it did last night. That's got some few beans growed in there. Because my plan was I'm not even going to try to keep this stuff stood up. It'll stand up on its own, or it'll grow laying down, or I'd end up pulling it out. Also, I got a wild tomato right here I need to stake up. That was one of them wild tomato plants I dug up over beside my garden sink and put in there. Well, it was held up straight by all the corn, growing right in the middle of the corn, with that wind and laid it all over. But I am going to tie this up this morning, stick a stake in it. So even if I end up pulling the corn out, maybe whatever variety of tomato this is, I can keep going in the middle of that. This is my other tractor bed with the criminal squash. Got a couple this morning. This one here done got a little bigger than I like. And I got a couple more right there that's going to be ready in the morning. If I don't forget and get it in the morning, if I do, they're going to be like this. Actually could pull them now for some tender squash, but I'm going to leave them on there. Now that's the bed of by day of variety onions that I actually planted by seed right here in this bed. You can see they doing good. They may not make the biggest onions, but they making eatable onions. And here's the third bed of criminal squash. The reason I'm showing this bed again is because I had one of my commenters, when I asked what caused bumps on squash, he said these squash looked like they was a different variety than the criminal squash that I got over there, just looking at the color of the leaves. And he may be right, but if he is, I didn't order but one pack of squash seeds. And if it's different seeds in here in that pack, that's something I had no control over. And I will say I think the fella's right, because these are not growing straight up right like them other ones were. So unless I made a big boo-boo and grabbed the wrong pack and got something else I had in my seed, there may have been some seeds mixed up in that seed pack, which don't surprise me after 2020. I get a lot of seeds I question. But on this one, now that he's got me looking at it, I'm going to go back and look in my seed box and just see if I may have accidentally grabbed another different pack of seeds that I already had, because the fella that commented that, I think you're right, sir. This ain't criminal squash in this bed. Maybe I need to go look back at one of my first videos when I planted. A lot of times I have to do that, because I don't think this is a boo-boo in the seed pack after I'm looking at this. And the reason I don't think it's a boo-boo in the seed pack, because all four of these don't look like the criminal squash after getting a look at the vine. Now it looks like that vine's starting to lay over and grow like a regular squash. So Papaw's gonna check that in office. He made a boo-boo and been telling y'all this bed was criminal squash also. All I can say is it's yellow summer squash, but it does all of them have like little bumps on it, every one of them. But they've been good eating squash. We just cut them up and mix them with the others, and you can't taste the difference out. Now this bed right here is where my prism kale was, and guys, it done got so tall, and I just decided I was pulling it up and just gonna let these chamomile here grow in this bed this summer, because we ain't eating the kale no more, so I just pulled it all up. This is my green egg squash. Y'all seen the latest video where we cooked it on the grill, but I noticed yesterday, I actually thought my wife had harvested that evening when I worked late, and she didn't. So I got one big green egg right here, and I got 4 or 5 more in there, and one of them, if I miss the harvest tomorrow, it's gonna be big like this. And that's really bigger than I like them, but it's still eatable, especially eating it on the grill. And guys, you can take these green egg squash and take them zucchini squash and take them yellow squash and cook them all up, and you really won't know the difference if you ain't looking at it, because they taste to me too much like a yellow squash. And y'all gonna see a lot of leaves on the ground. We're already got out here early this morning cutting some of that old mess off, but we finna get us 2 or 3 good zucchinis right here. And actually this one right here is a little bit bigger than we like them. We like them about that size right here the best. And there's one more that could come off. Actually, there's 2 that could come off. I'm gonna leave them on there for tomorrow. So we got 3 zucchini squash. Now before this rain we got last night, you can see the pumpkins is blooming very well. I ain't seen no baby pumpkin forming nowhere yet, but I am hearing some bees fly around in here this morning. And I ain't been hearing that. But we had done went 4 days. That was our record for the last 2 months. 4 days without no rain. And it's been 90 to 93 degrees. But windy most of the days. And this had done started getting thirsty. See the leaves starting to turn yellow? Well, I come in yesterday and I'd been working all day long, but I looked at the radar and it showed it was going to rain last night, so maybe that'll get them greens back up, because they was beautiful. I actually had a couple other things that done got dry in these beds. There's one other thing I want to show y'all I lost before I move on to weigh my chicks. Actually, guys, there's a couple things I'm going to show y'all. This is my carrot bed that after I planted carrots here, really didn't harvest none of them, and you could tell I had them planted thick, but the wind broke some of them down. But I'm just letting these go wild just for something to grow. Plus, I ain't never let carrots go wild just to see how tall they got. Maybe it'll reseed itself and I won't have to plant carrots next year. I just think it looks pretty out here growing, so I just let it grow. Now to the last thing I want to show in the garden is my Italian ice, my hydroponic bucket. As y'all can see, the tomato was doing good and had several little cherry-sized tomatoes, but it just all of a sudden died. Now my thinking of why it all of a sudden died is twofold. One, this bucket is full of algae, and I know the biggest reason for that is it's in a white lid. The light can kind of get through, and that makes the algae grow. But also, this hydroponic bucket here was not aerated like the Vevor buckets over there. Them black Vevor buckets, you look in them, you don't see no algae at all. But look at that nasty mess. But do I really think the algae killed that tomato plant? I don't think so. I think it had more to do with I forgot about this hydro bucket for about 3 days. Maybe 4. I forgot about topping it back off. So therefore it was drained, and y'all see this 5-gallon bucket sitting down inside this tub. And I did that to help keep it cooler, was my theory. But the reason I think that plant died and it done it overnight is because I let that bucket drain down and done exactly what I told y'all I knew I couldn't do. You can't let a hydroponic bucket drain all the way down, especially stay a couple days and the air roots get too dry, and then fill it back up. It drowns it. And I think that's what I did to this bucket. So that's over with, but that's why I planted a summer dance cucumber in the soil, in the pot, and got a zinnia there. In case that right there didn't make it, at least I got a cucumber coming on here, and I done got one cucumber off of this summer dance cucumber plant. So if I try this little theory again, which I probably won't because I'm already seeing the hydroponic buckets, I may do something with them next year. But it probably ain't going to be lined up in the garden like that, because having to keep them topped off every day sometimes can get a little overwhelming for me after I've been mowing from 7 o'clock to dark. So now let's go check out the chickens. Blackberries, I picked a half a gallon yesterday morning. Took to one of the ladies I mow for off of this plant and that other one over there. And I guarantee you there's a half a gallon more. We done got up to a little over 4 gallons off these 2 little plants. And my wife done made an awesome blackberry cobbler, guys. I'm going to try to remember to pop up a picture here where she made that. I don't know what recipe she used, but she said it was a new one she wanted to try. And she done it in a black cast iron skillet. And oh boy, was eating that little ice cream good that night. And then the next day, I finished it off. I keep saying my last thing in my garden, but there's my fig tree. I done let run out of water. And it was turning yellow. And it was doing so birdie. Because you got to remember, I don't care if you get 4 inches of rain. When you fooling with 90+ degree temperatures and you fooling with tubs and raised beds, you still got to water them about every 3 days. And I just didn't do it. But I think it's going to come on back. I filled the bottom of the wicking tub up yesterday and it soaked the dirt down again, and then it got rain last night. Alright guys, before we move on to the chickens, I got some bunnies that's got to be separated out here. I got 7 American blue bunnies. And I'm going to separate them out because I'm going to choose one of the girls for a keeper. So right now these are 2 boys. I'm going to take these over here and put them in this other little cage. And this is where 6 of them's going to go. And them are going to be growed out for meat rabbits. And it looks like I got 5 girls and 2 boys. I done sexed these rabbits and I put a red mark in their ear because that red permanent marker will wear off over time. But I'm going to pick out what I think's the prettiest, biggest female right now and put the rest of them over there. But I'll still compare the one I pick out against these other females before it's harvest time. And for all my new viewers that don't know, these are American blue rabbits. And I breed pedigreed rabbits, but I also breed them for meat. And I'm wanting to save me another doe. And the doe that I'm going to save is actually off of Loretta and Hank. But I'm going to save a buck. I got 2 down there. I only got 1 buck and 1 doe that was off of Gwen and Ray Charles. So for my new viewers, if you ain't figured it out already, all my rabbits is named after singers. Always has been. And my buck rabbit, I'm going to be saving for me another buck rabbit. Colton has named him Jason Aldean. And my new doe is going to be named Carrie Underwood. So there y'all are. Meet Jason Aldean and Carrie Underwood. And Jason Aldean is off of Ray Charles and Gwen Stefani. And like I said, Carrie Underwood, she was off of Loretta Lynn and Hank Williams. But now this ain't the doe I'm going to keep. I just got her sitting out here. Come here, Jason. But Jason's got a sister, but I don't want a doe off the same male and female. So I want this buck off of it because he has bloodline that goes back to Kelly Clarkston, which is one of the first does I started with. And this here's the doe that's off of Ray Charles and Gwen Stefani. Now I just marked her ears, both ears real good red, but I also put the letter G so I know that Gwen's her mom because she's going to be in the same pen with them. And if somebody comes along and they want a pedigreed rabbit, I'll know which rabbit pedigree papers goes with what. But if nobody comes along wanting them, I'm actually bred this last. Well, actually, I don't know. Gwen may be bred again. But I bred them to get me some meat rabbits. Now, these rabbits are the same age, bred on the same day from 2 different moms. But Gwen only had 3 and one of them died on arrival. But y'all look at the difference in the size, because it was just 2 rabbits that the mom had to milk instead of 7 the other one had to milk. And that's how much more growth they put on, even though they was born the same day. Ooh, it done got humid out here this morning, guys. So now I'm gonna set these up here and see if I can just quickly pick me one. And like I said, that'll just have me one in this pen, and then I'll still compare them against the other one as they grow. So the prettiest one is actually brothers to Jason Aldean, so I don't want them. These are darker in color. One thing I look at, I done checked them all out as far as checking their teeth and eyes and toes. I kind of look at their ears, kind of look at their body size and shape, and you want a feel of them. Look at their rear, at the space of their rear. You want a big rear spacing. So I'm finna choose me one right here. This one here comes to me. She wants to be chose. She wants to be chose, but she is a little smaller than the other ones. Come here. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. That one that just come to me, her eyes is a little bluer than the others. Come back here, Rabbit. You can't be jumping down there. You can't be jumping down there. Alright guys, I think for right now this is going to be Carrie Underwood, but like I said, I'll keep watching them because I have done this, and before they get processing age I have changed my mind. So this will be Carrie Underwood's pen. Uh-oh, we done had a bunny jump off. You better come back here, bunny. Oh, there you are. You didn't jump off. I done put you in here. So next up, we're going to move to the chicken weighing. So now I'm going to be weighing my chicks. This is my 5 chicks that was born on 4/28/24. I done some experimental breeding here with my rooster that's named Justin from Breast Farms, and 3 of my hens from Royals, Mandolin Royals. So I want to get some weights on them, and I can't remember if I got weights at 2 weeks old and forgot to put them on my spreadsheet on the computer, or either I just totally done lost the track and ain't weighed them birds. I think I did. I think they're in my notebook I keep in the shed. I'm gonna look for that later. But let's get these out and see what these 5-week-old birds weigh. Guys, I just got my calendar out because I was walking over there to get one of them. I'm like, these birds ain't 5 weeks old. So I got my calendar out looking back at the date. April the 28th. So they are 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna just say 3.5 weeks old. They ain't even 4 weeks old. As soon as I said that, I'm like, these chickens ain't that old. So now I'm gonna go get them and weigh them. So this one right here looks like it's gonna be a little rooster. And this is the one I got the yellow band on his foot. The reason I got the yellow band on his foot, when I put eggs in the incubator, I left 2 or 3 eggs in the nesting box because I had one of them hens gone broody. Well, one egg's the only one made it the full term in there. She busted the other ones because the other hens would get in there to lay eggs with her. But this one that she hatched out herself. And as soon as I seen it, I got it out and put it in the incubator. Brooder box, I mean, with the ones I hatched, because they actually was hatching the same day. I'm actually going to weigh these in ounces. Come on, you gotta be still. Be still. Be still. 14.36 ounces. Looks like we got another little male here, but it's very light-legged. So that's a for sure coal already. Go to the meat pot. They actually gonna have to be some pretty birds, guys, for me to replace one of my hens or roosters. 12.73 ounces. I'm gonna have to stick these in this pen now because I ain't got these marked. I think this one right here is gonna be a little hen. She got some. Hers might come on and turn pretty blue. They still got a pretty good bit of blue. But she's a little lightweight. 8.92 ounces. I'm gonna say that's gonna be a female. This here looks like it's gonna be a female, and this legs is a little light. Actually, it's got a crooked toes, so I know it's a 100% meat bird. 11.96. I'm gonna say that's gonna be a female. Yeah, this one here got some bent toes on it, which could be from several different things. Could be genetics, could be an incubator issue, could be your feed. And with the kids playing with them, they could have just got broke. Now these two right here is the prettiest as far as leg color. Actually, this is the darkest one, and I think this is going to be a little hen. 9.77. And I said 5 chicks to start out with, guys. I wrote down 5 because that's what I hatched in the incubator. I forgot about the one that the hen hatched. So we got 6. This is 11.46. So if that 11.46 happens to be a female, it's kind of, that there's kind of in that in between. I don't trust myself on it. If I was a guess, if I had to bet on it right now, I'd bet on it's going to be a hen. But I don't know. This one here, 977, she got the darkest legs of all. But that's it for weighing the chicks, guys. I'm weighing these just so I can track my breeding. My ones in the grow out pen, I forgot. I'm gonna weigh one of them just to see where they at. Give me an idea. See where they at. So I'll be right back. So guys, after looking back at my notebook, them 5 chicks that we just weighed, actually they 3 weeks and 4 days old to be exact. The biggest one was 14.36 ounces, and the little lightweight was 9.77. But out of the top 3, we got a 14.36, a 12.73, and 11.46. So out of a 6 bird, I just said 5 again. I mean 6. them are pretty close on weights at their age, and I just have to watch them. Now what I'm gonna weigh right now is my birds that are bred Moroyal. That's Moroyal the rooster over there, to the breast farm hen. And this one I got 5 out of, got incubated them, and one of them was a rooster. Now I'm keeping my eye on this rooster because if he comes out with some solid white earlobes, because that's why I kept the rooster from breast farms, because I love them big old long solid white earlobes. I'm gonna watch him now. His cone and his wattles, even at this age, he is 11 weeks, 1 day old. Let me double check that. 11 weeks, 3 days old. And I actually had that root right there. Couldn't read my own writing. 11 weeks, 3 days old. So we're gonna weigh this rooster because I'm keeping an eye on him. Hold on. He weighs 75.1 ounce. I'm gonna convert that to pounds and ounces. I'm gonna weigh that at pounds and ounces. 4 pounds, 11 ounces. 4 pounds, 11 ounces. So his weight at this age is right there with my royal chicks that I had and my chickens from Chase Recreational Homestead. And guys, if you're interested in any American breast birds, chicks, look up Recreational Homestead, and you'll be happy with your birds. So he puts the time into his selective breeding and not just breeding anything to everything. But this bird here, he ain't gonna stand and make a pose for y'all. He's scared. But I'm keeping an eye on him. He's probably gonna go past butcher age just so I can watch him. Look at them points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't know if you count that as the back since it ain't a full point. A lot of them say single cone roosters are supposed to be 5 points, which I very rarely ever see that. I like how his cone hangs over the back. His legs are good and dark. He's a little ruffled up for me having to catch him in the pen. But he's more of a taller bird, especially the way he's standing up right now. I don't really like that about him. He's a little too tall to me. But we watching this one right here. This could possibly be the first rooster replacement, and if it does, it's gonna replace the rooster from Breese Farms. Now I just got one of the hens here. Out of the 4 that I'm gonna weigh. And at this point, this would only be the possible chance to replace a hen that I got. So that's why I'm only gonna weigh this one and keep watching it. And I got colored leg bands on them, so I know exactly which one it is. 3 pounds. 3 pounds, 7.9. 3 pounds, 7.9. That ain't a bad weight for 11 weeks and 3 days old. It ain't the best weight. Even the male ain't the best weight. They could be a little bit more at this age. Looking back, comparing them to my others. But they up there with my picks out of the others, out of my keepers that I kept. So that's it for the chicken weighing. Now I'm gonna give y'all a shot of my rooster from Recreational Homestead. I named him Chase after Chase. And guys, he is my prettiest rooster out of him, my Royal, and Justin. Now my Royal, I stay around here probably forever because I want to keep that heavy weight that Mandolin already done worked on getting, because he's good and stocky, and I ain't weighed him in a long time. He's a big old bird. But we'll take a look at them two real quick. This one right here is Chase. And personally, I think that is one good looking rooster. So y'all leave in the comments what y'all think about Chase. You can see a couple of the hens right there with him. Now this one right here is my royal. You see how big and stocky he is, but he does have some yellowing coming in him the older he gets. Which I about done got to the point I ain't worrying about yellowing. And them 3 hens there's 3 hens from Recreational Homestead also. The hens that I got, that I hatched out from Mandolin Royal, they in the pen with the Breast Farm Rooster. Y'all can see the cone on my royal there. He got frostbite this winter. So all the tips of his points fell off. But guys, as always, I just got a phone call and I'm totally lost train of thought where I left off at. I think I was still talking about the hens from Recreational Homestead, how beautiful they are. But I'm not sure, so I guess I just better move on, because I done lost train of thought. Don't even know where I was. My wife just called me. We had that little storm last night when she got to her shop. Done broke the power pole down, and that's the one that's got our meter base and all that on it. So I'm probably finna have to go up there, and I'm sure the power people gonna try to say it's something I gotta fix they don't take care of since it's the meter pole. I don't know. It's always 15 things with 20 more coming behind it all on the same day around here. But guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Please leave me some comments down there in the bottom what you think about old Chase and my royal. What you think about my hens there from Recreational Homestead. And like I said, if you're interested in some chicks, I would suggest getting them from Chase at Recreational Homestead. Everybody that I've heard's got them from there. I do a lot of watching other YouTube videos and hearing that the people and watching on Facebook and reading, and the ones that's got chicks from other places and then got some from Chase. Every one of them say Chase chickens is a better quality chicken, weight wise, growth wise, prettiness, than the chicks they got from somewhere else. So I would suggest just skipping them other ones and go on and spend just a little bit extra money. His birds are a little higher than some of them, but I promise you, if you buy 25 birds, you're gonna come out of there with a good 15. Some of them other places that selling them birds real cheap, you get 25 birds, you'll be lucky if you get one. Or a breeder bird, I'm saying. But as always, I hope y'all have a great day and a blessed week. God bless. See y'all next time.